politics, and power. Another school of thought sees politics as a rational undertaking. Rational meaning that people's views are based on their ability to reason. And that is an interesting perspective because human beings can reason. So humans can be rational. And as such, politics can be seen through humans' rationality as a rational undertaken. Classic political theorists like Hobbes and Locke, they held that humans form civil society because their powers of reason tell them that it is much better than anarchy. And that sounds quite reasonable. You know, people use their reason to safeguard their lives, their property, and to help them to elect government whom they believe would reasonably represent their best interest. Although that does not always pan out to be that way when people take reasonable, rational decisions. But that's a matter for the people to fix if and when those decisions backfire. My duty on this program is to explain the different terms, the different ways, the different perspective of understanding the rational theory or the rational approach or the rational way of viewing, understanding, and seeing politics. The biological, the psychological, and cultural, which we discussed earlier on, all claim that people either are born or conditioned to certain behavior and that individuals seldom think rationally. So the rational perspective moves away from the other perspectives that we have discussed thus far, because indeed people can be rational. Now, a political system based on the presumption of human reason stands a better chance of governing justly and humanely because people may just be reasonable. In fact, if leaders believe that people obey out of biological inheritance or cultural conditioning, they will think they can get away with all manner of deception and misrule. And indeed they have. Because in many instances, leaders actually do get away with that. Now, what do you do as a people? Do not let the leaders get away with that. Use the sense and the power of reason that you have to deviate from the stereotypes, from the box, from the mindset, from the notion that people are that, and prove to those who seek to represent you, the people, that you are a thinking, alive, and breathing person with a sense of reasoning. People, of course, are not completely rational. There's some irrational thought that goes into political thinking and in other spheres of life. And we will discuss that aspect, the irrational approach, the irrational perspective, on the following program. Just to remind you that we have looked at 4 major perspectives so far. We have touched on the biological, the psychological, the cultural, and the rational. They're all ways of looking at and understanding and relating to politics. Their perspective for better understanding of the form. The final one, the 5th, we shall discuss on the next program, and then get into using these perspectives to show how politics could be such a brilliant science, and there are those among us who use it to their advantage. Politics and power.